changed the world. I mean, it had an enormous impact on the presidential election.
Imagine a moment so powerful that it could not only entertain, but also pivot an entire political narrative. That's exactly what transpired during the unforgettable live roast of Donald Trump by none other than Jimmy Kimmel and George Clooney. This event transcended the typical comedy show, evolving into a cultural phenomenon that drew sharp lines between humor and politics. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear goes beyond laughs. It's a deep dive into the audacity of comedy meeting the complexities of power. What secrets were unveiled, and how did the audience react to the gut-wrenching punchlines? Let's find out. The atmosphere was buzzing with excitement as Jimmy Kimmel took to the stage, ready to unleash a barrage of laughter at Trump's expense. Kimmel wasted no time, launching directly into a series of playful jabs that perfectly encapsulated the bizarre world of Trump. He began with a hilariously animated montage that showcased the ex-president's most cringe-worthy moments, awkward tweets, strange handshakes, and bizarre speeches that seemed to defy logic. The crowd erupted in laughter as Kimmel pointed out how each oddity only contributed to the unparalleled saga of Trumpism. You know, locking up his opponents might be the only thing he's truly mastered, he quipped, garnering applause and cheers. Kimmel's keen comedic timing kept the audience on the edge of their seats as he navigated through Trump's more embarrassing moments, making it clear that while they were laughing, there was also a critical lens on the absurdity of power dynamics. As Kimmel's roasts rained down, Clooney chimed in with his signature charm and wit. He illustrated just how far Trump had strayed from the expected behavior of someone in his position. The man claims to run a country, yet he can't even run a decent reality show, Clooney exclaimed, leaving the audience in stitches. His jokes carried a certain familiarity, a reminder that laughter could be a powerful tool to confront the bizarre reality that had become politics. With each joke, they peeled back the layers of Trump's bravado, exposing the fragility beneath. Just as the audience needed a moment to catch their breath, Kimmel pivoted, hinting at deeper issues that lay hidden behind the laughter. The roast was a brilliant mix of hilarity and reflection, which only served to ramp up the tension for what was to come next. But that wasn't the whole story. Stay tuned. As the roast unfolded, Kimmel and Clooney shifted focus to Trump's persona, dissecting the carefully curated image he projects to the world. Kimmel effortlessly painted a picture of Trump as a man constantly seeking validation. You know, Kimmel quipped, Trump has been in business longer than many of us have been alive, and yet he still needs more applause than a toddler at a piano recital. This sharp observation revealed more than just humor. It highlighted Trump's insatiable desire for adoration. Clooney didn't hold back either. He drew comparisons between Trump's bluster and the reality of his business failures. You've got to wonder how many reality shows it takes for a guy to realize he's not as real as he thinks he is, he said, alluding to Trump's years in the spotlight, where truth and image often collide in chaotic fashion. Through these witty jabs, Kimmel and Clooney shone a light on a fundamental truth. The bravado that Trump often exudes is merely a facade, concealing deep insecurities and a tumultuous history. What made this section particularly engaging was the contrast in delivery between Kimmel's comedic timing and Clooney's laid-back charm. Each one's punchlines navigated the murky waters of Trump's controversial decisions, inviting laughter while also provoking critical thought. Their observations resonated with the audience, creating an atmosphere where laughter met reality, underlining just how pivotal humor is in revealing the complexities of a figure like Trump. And just when you think it couldn't get any deeper, Kimmel teased the crowd with a potent final thought. Remember, folks, Trump's like the weather in LA. A lot of hot air and sometimes a storm, but never a real downpour, hinting at the unpredictability of his persona. This clever comparison set the stage for discussions that would linger long after the roast ended, emphasizing that beneath the surface of humor lies a wealth of insight into the paradox of power. As the night progressed, the audience was treated to an array of punchlines that showcased the duo's comedic genius. Kimmel's impersonations hit home, cleverly mimicking Trump's unique speaking style with exaggerated hand gestures and over-the-top bravado. Each line landed like a carefully aimed dart, striking the heart of what made Trump such a polarizing figure. One particularly memorable moment unfolded when Kimmel quipped about the infamous wall, joking that it wouldn't merely serve as a barrier, but would also act as a soundproof booth for Trump's rants. The laughter that erupted from the audience wasn't just from the joke itself, but also from the shared understanding of the absurdity of it all. This kind of humor cuts deep, revealing not only Trump's grand designs, but also the vulnerabilities behind them. Clooney's contributions were equally sharp. He took jabs at Trump's infamous hair, comparing it to a raccoon that lost a fight. Such visuals evoked laughter while pointing out the ridiculousness of a man who once touted his looks as an asset. The combination of humor and imagery painted a picture that was hard to forget, making it not just a roast, but a commentary on the character involved. As if that wasn't enough, Kimmel fired off a line suggesting that Trump could use Twitter therapy to deal with his propensity for tweeting during midnight hours. This clever jab drew uproarious laughter from the crowd, revealing a collective acknowledgement of Trump's tendency to stir the pot, even in the wee hours. These punchlines served a dual purpose. They entertained while simultaneously inviting viewers to think critically about the behavior of those who hold power. It was a night filled with levity, but beneath the laughter lay a deeper narrative about the nature of leadership and the foibles of those striving for the spotlight. The audience, engrossed by both the humor and pointed critiques, could hardly wait for what these two comedic heavyweights would throw out next. It was evident that Kimmel and Clooney were not merely roasting Trump. They were shining a light on the complexities of modern politics, all while keeping everyone in stitches. When George Clooney took center stage, he immediately captivated the audience with his signature charm and wit. He launched into a series of clever jabs aimed directly at Trump's persona, positioning himself as both a commentator and a comedian. One of his most memorable lines compared Trump's intellect to a half-eaten bag of Cheetos, which not only evoked laughter, but also painted a vivid picture of superficiality and decay, a commentary on Trump's perceived lack of substance. Clooney deftly transitioned from humor to critique, highlighting the absurdity in Trump's policy decisions and personal contradictions. It was a masterclass in combining comedy with a compelling narrative, forcing the audience to confront uncomfortable truths about political leadership. As Clooney continued, he seized the audience's attention with anecdotes about celebrities who had been duped by Trump's charisma, asserting that many fell for the facade only to discover the flawed reality behind it. His lines danced on the edge of satire, calling into question the integrity of those in power, which resonated deeply with spectators and viewers alike. Each punchline was a meticulous reminder that these public figures bear a responsibility, and the weight of that burden was shown through Clooney's insightful humor. By turning the roast into a moment of reflection, Clooney ensured that his critique lingered well beyond the laughter. Just when everyone thought it was all in good fun, Clooney reminded us all, sometimes, comedy reveals the harsh truths we need to face. As the laughter echoed through the venue and into viewers' homes, it wasn't just the celebrities who had their eyes glued to the screen. Audiences everywhere sprang into action, their reactions just as animated as the roast itself. Social media exploded with hashtags like #TrumpRoasted and #ComedyGold, signifying just how impactful the night was. Memes began to flood Twitter and Instagram, showcasing stills of Kimmel and Clooney caught in mid-joke, their faces perfectly captured in comedic triumph. Fans took to Facebook and TikTok to share clips of the most hilarious moments, often tagged with captions that added an extra layer of humor. When you realize your president could also be a stand-up comedian. Some viewers even shared their own roast-worthy clips, transforming a night of humor into a viral sensation. Political commentators chimed in, analyzing the roast not just as entertainment, but as a reflection of the current political climate. Pundits highlighted how the blend of humor and critique mobilized young voters, sparking discussions around the importance of laughter in times of serious political divides. But amid the laughter, there were pockets of dissent. Supporters of Trump condemned the roast, arguing that it crossed the line from comedy into disrespect. You could see the division in the comments, with passionate debates brewing over the merits of comedic criticism versus simple mockery. The contrast between joyous supporters of Kimmel and Clooney and the outraged Trump loyalists created a palpable tension across platforms, an unintentional comedy in itself. It revealed just how polarized opinions were and how a comedy roast could serve as a reflection of the broader social landscape. Indeed, the night didn't just entertain. It ignited conversations, fueled social media engagement, and kept viewers engaged long after the show's end. This event not only roped in fans of comedy, but also encouraged those who felt disenfranchised to take their opinions public. The roast of the century morphed into a viral testament of comedy's power, leaving an indelible mark on the political discourse. The morning after the roast, Trump took to Twitter, a platform he often uses to lash out at critics. He branded Kimmel as a failing comedian and labeled Clooney the least funny actor in Hollywood. His tweets were laced with incredulous caps lock and exclamation points, reflecting both anger and defensiveness. What many found surprising, however, was the level of emotion he displayed. The serialized approach he took revealed more than just indignation. It exposed his underlying vulnerability, magnified by the public mockery he had just endured. This cycle of roasting and retaliating has become a predictable dance in modern politics. Trump's response sparked widespread discussion online. Supporters rallied around him, calling Kimmel and Clooney liberal elitists, while critics delighted in dissecting the roast further, suggesting it struck too close to home. Amidst the chaos, the underlying message emerged clearly. Trump's aura of invincibility is frail, particularly when faced with humor that cuts deep. As tweets rolled in, late-night shows capitalized on the moment, inviting audiences to witness the fallout from this comedic clash. The back-and-forth between Trump and his detractors transformed into an ongoing saga, amplified by social media's reach, emphasizing how comedy has become a powerful political tool. While Trump attempted to deflect the jokes with his heated retorts, the consensus was clear. Humor might just be one of the few things that retains the power to seriously rattle him. Reflecting on this comedic showdown provides insight beyond mere laughter. Kimmel and Clooney skillfully wielded humor to shine a light on the absurdities and vulnerabilities inherent in power. Their roast of Donald Trump became a phenomenon that transcended entertainment, reminding us of the significance of satire in holding leaders accountable. As we navigate the complex world of politics, this event illustrates that laughter can be a powerful tool for critique and reflection. It leaves us pondering an important question: how might humor shape the future of our political discourse?